for a new and different perspective every week on LEGO sets, news, media, and more. You're listening to the BCC Podcast.
Today is Thursday, August 31st of 2017, and you're listening to episode 116 of the BCC Podcast. I'm Ford, and today I'm joined by Klenda. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm also joined by LQ.
Alright, so I want to open the podcast by saying something controversial.
Oh boy. It's not even controversial.
As always.
I like the new YouTube.
LQ is wrong. What do you think about the new YouTube, Mace?
Oh, I'm actually not at all. I don't really care.
Mace, you're supposed to be on my side on this.
Me.
How about you, Mal?
It doesn't affect me.
I actually do like it, but it's about the principle that matters. With all the YouTube censorship and everything, it's just a symbol of oppression.
Whoa, hang on, stop. You're being more controversial than LQ here. Just saying.
Not this early in the afternoon, please.
So today, it pleases me to welcome a very, very special guest, John from the TTV podcast. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hello, everybody.
Nice to have you.
Welcome.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always like being on guest podcasts.
So what do you think of the new YouTube?
I'm not gonna lie, I really like it. But okay,
Alright,
first
finally,
clarification.
someone
Why does everybody like it?
Okay, real quick. It is actually, I know it's new for a lot of other people. They've rolled out to a bunch of channels beforehand, so I've kind of gotten used to it already. Mm-hmm. So maybe with some time, people kind of warm up to it a little bit. So yeah, my opinion is not as valid as right now. Also, full disclosure, I love material design. I know some people don't, but I'm a huge fan of it. So I kind of really do like it. I'm gonna be honest.
It's not.
I feel like it loads smoother for me too.
That's my problem. It actually doesn't load smoother for me. It's that
it's a
sidebar
Mac
thing,
issue.
With all your subscriptions and stuff. That sometimes it doesn't even load when I click on the icon for it.
Yeah, I have heard other people having that glitch.
Yeah,
too.
sometimes it just stays there and doesn't move, and then it moves all the other video thumbnails all out of whack on the other side of the screen. It's not working for me.
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't have that issue, but
exclusive.
Takuma and Var have that issue, and so they were talking about it last night. So that sounds really annoying.
And that is an issue, but it's not part of the design.
It slows everything down. It's I don't need to spend more time on this site.
And comments load slower now.
Yeah, that
Even
part
when
I did
noticed
notice.
that before.
It's because of there's no more load more button. I think something's wrong with how they load now.
Now that
I
don't
think so
like.
too.
Yeah, it's a
I
little...
want
I really
my
don't
load
like
more
it.
button. I want my comments in little, manageable, bite-sized, giant cracks, not endless row through every single comment forever.
Exactly.
No.
No, totally.
But in general, I really like it. And I feel when I often have many windows up, and I can only afford one computer screen currently. So I will often put YouTube up in a corner. I feel like it sizes way better on my screen now with the new format, which I really like.
Yeah.
You see, I don't do anything technical like that, nor do I really use YouTube, so I'm not an authority on this subject.
Mace is unbiased.
All right, but that's enough about YouTube. We've got a super-sized podcast in store for you guys today.
Yeah, this week we got a bunch of news, out of the blue almost. So there's a lot to talk.
The last couple days.
I just
some
woke
of it,
up one day.
Today.
Everything.
Usually, I found that we always do our podcast on the days where we don't get a lot of news, and then the next day it's a big bombshell thing happens.
Oh, that's Brickfeed for you. We recorded one Tuesday. We recorded Brickfeeds on Tuesday, and then the Millennium Falcon had to come out, and I'm like, guys, come on.
It wasn't supposed to come out till tomorrow, actually, was it?
Yeah, I
it
think
was the
people
first.
were just
I thought so.
wanting
People
to get
got
it done
tired of
because
waiting.
going into it, earlier
Okay.
this morning, on this day, before the reveal, there were a bunch of leaked pictures, leaked official pictures.
We're gonna
So
get
they
into
were
that later.
we gotta get this done now.
Okay. I might have some information on that.
All right, we have that coming up in an upcoming segment, so we'll probably talk
Yeah.
about it more then.
Right now, we're going to
Okay,
talk
sounds
about
good.
some smaller things that
yeah,
have
we're just gonna talk about
larger
some smart, mostly
implications.
minifigures actually.
Yeah.
Which, so the first thing up on our news docket today is the Lego Batman movie minifigures for Bricktober have been revealed, and I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. Actually, I think it looks pretty cool.
So am
I've,
I really
indeed,
like
I
a lot
am
of
too.
these.
I found my sig fig costume. I feel like that.
Which
Like,
one?
at the moment I saw that.
Oh, it's the money
guess,
one, obviously.
Just guess.
I thought that was going to be
Money.
Mace's.
We can
If you
share.
had a green bat
Listen,
towel,
we
then
can
Matching suits.
we can wear it to like different parties. We just need to make sure we're not the same party or the same thing, right?
I'm
I love the
dog
Gladiator
green
bat too. That's
suit.
really cool armor.
Oh, it's really
I'm
good.
Why, it's
intrigued.
I like
fantastic.
wizard bat with the little bat on the stick. I like that.
I like
I like
all
the
of
amulet
them,
on that one.
but the thing that gets me the most excited, for some reason, is the white utility belt on the bunny.
Oh yeah.
That is cool.
Totally.
That would be
said that
perfect
that
for like
was fluffy
stormtrooper
something.
minifigs and stuff. If they did that,
Oh
think
yeah.
about it,
Well, now that you brought that up, they should do that for every stormtrooper.
right?
I have to admit, I didn't realize the wizard one was a wizard before this. I thought it was like the Queen of England or something.
Okay, at first I
the
thought that
Queen
it was
of
a
England.
night robe or something.
I've
but
had a long
the
day.
staff kind of made me think that it was
Well,
something
hey.
magical.
The
needed
the
me to
wizard
impart
bat
my
goes
wisdom.
along well with the Excalibur, so
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
That's
yes.
It does. It does.
Merlin
very
bat.
helpful.
That would be really awesome. I'm actually the Gladiator Batman. There was a so comics are weird. There was a moment where Batman was like essentially he was killed by Darkseid, except he wasn't killed. He was sent back in time, and then like he kept being like killed again and again and again, but he kept being like reincarnated kind of until
But
it was just a
backward,
whole
backward.
mess. Right. But
Yes, he was Blackbeard the pirate.
he was Blackbeard the Pirate.
Batbeard.
That's yeah. But he was the cave Batman in the previous collectible minifigures wave was kind of based off that, and I believe the Gladiator Batman is based off that as well.
wow.
I'm not entirely too sure, but because I kind of read it, I kind of skimmed it, you know, the story because I felt it was kind of a little too outrageous for me, but
Yeah.
I did like the costumes that came out of it, and this one is really cool.
Now, what I find funny is in a previous podcast we discussed like all the variations of Batman that were in the movie we haven't got yet. None of these came up in that discussion.
They did not.
We
They
still
were
don't have the
so
St.
good that
Patrick's.
we didn't know we needed them.
Yes, with the St. Patrick's Day one.
That's the one I've been waiting for. I'm gonna get
No,
that
I
one.
hope that they
as soon as
actually
it's
make
released.
that. I mean, they've
Well,
got
there
enough
are the
space
rumors
to
that there's
make
gonna have
one
another
for a long
minifigure
time.
series next year.
I hope they
That'd be
do
cool.
because they've been
I'd
coming
be
up
down
with
for
some
that.
fantastic minifigures.
However, there's also rumors of a Harry Potter minifigure series.
Now I'd be down for that too.
I want it.
Now, I found really interesting. Just Too Good reported on this a couple of days ago that Lego Harry Potter might be coming back next year.
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense. Fantastic Beasts 2, which is still unnamed. That's coming out next year too.
And please don't call it Fantastic Beasts 2.
I seriously doubt they will. They'll probably just call it Fantastic Beasts. insert
Fantastic
title
Beasts,
here.
where to find the other ones?
Fantastic Beast. Well, here's it's like Fantastic Beast and where the number 2.
Oh.
Find them. That's what they're gonna do.
No,
$32.
honestly, I'll be totally on board with that if they do.
Honestly, most of the time I would be annoyed with that, but that would be just funny enough that I'd let that go.
It'd be
Right.
like
They could
two
just do it for
Fantastic
all like
Beasts
there's
to
5 of them, right?
Bombastic
It'd be like Fantastic Threests and where to find them, just like and do it in all the
Oh gosh.
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic
I'm
Beasts.
guessing
There we go.
that the sets that they're coming out with next year, at least the majority of them are going to
And
be
the-
based on that movie.
And then the last
I
one is
already have
Fantastic
Newt
Beasts and where to
Scamander.
find them. It's perfect.
There we go.
The
Perfect.
title was
Perfect.
deliberately made so you can have all of the numbers.
That's what
Fantastic
happened.
Threes and where to find them. I killed it.
It's okay.
I have
It's
Newt
okay.
Scamander. He is a very cool minifig, by the way.
Harry Potter is really fresh in my mind because we all like, for fun, like the TTV crowd, we like hang out essentially like every day, and we'll just we'll hang out, we'll do some things, and one of the things we recently been doing is going through every single Harry Potter audiobook because Purple
really?
hadn't listened to them before. Yeah, so we actually just finished last week. Last week or the week before, we finally finished Deathly Hallows because like Purple has never seen any spoilers for
Oh my
Harry
God.
Potter ever.
That's
Oh,
rough.
that's awesome.
And it was
How did
great.
someone pull that off?
I don't know. She's on Tumblr and everything. Well, she's also very forgetful. So like, I feel like she saw some and then forgot about them. She didn't know about like the big spoilers beforehand. Snape killing Dumbledore, right? Like that's the generic
Yeah.
one that everyone knows. She didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
But
It must have been great to watch her react to.
Oh, you can't imagine. She has like she reacts the best to everyone, or to out of the,
Were
the
there
channel.
tears?
Out of everyone.
Oh, when just like when people died, when people I don't know tears, but she was like completely floored. She was shocked.
I mean,
when
yeah.
people died, when people like the whole revelation at the end where like Snape he calls us Patronus and it's the dough. She freaked out.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like
It's really
Yeah.
good you guys
So-
listen to the books first then, because the deaths
Oh,
don't
yeah.
mean much with the movies.
they
Yeah.
don't. Oh, we were
they
so
still
mad at the
do.
movies.
Not really, not much.
It's different. And
Listen, there's
honestly, that's the best compromise between the books
Well, I mean,
and
like,
being able
I
to do
heard-
something together.
I
like a
actually read
movie.
that apparently J.K. Rowling had actually told Alan Rickman after the very first movie was done filming how he died and what was like what his motivation
she
was
did.
supposed to be going forward.
right.
Yeah.
And to see that like in perspective. and
Snape's was
watching
one of
all
the better
movies
ones in the
then
movie.
Again, it's like wow.
Yeah, Snape
But,
in the
like,
movie was fantastic.
Here's the thing, Battle of
Snape is
Hogwarts,
my
favorite
so
character.
many people die during the Battle of Hogwarts. In the book, it's like a really big deal because you spend so much time with all these characters. In the
And we spend
movie,
all time with
you
them
get maybe a
dying.
few scenes with a lot of them. Like with Lupin, you haven't seen him in forever, and it's not a
Right.
big deal.
Yeah, and honestly, we didn't get to see that much of Lupin in the movies, which
This
I
is
was very
true, I
disappointed
guess.
by because I really liked him.
He's pretty great. Okay, I'll tell you exactly why the movies don't hold like that true, or like how much little time they have. In the seventh
Okay.
movie, we're watching Deathly Hallows Part 1, and they have all the people in disguise as Harry and fly out. There's a scene where Bill Weasley is there, Deathly Hallows, and he says, "Hey, nice to meet you, Harry. I'm Bill." And we're like, "What? Are you just now meeting? How is that? Why? Like, how does this all?" Anyhow, like that's
Okay, my biggest
that's
gripe with the
example.
movies.
go for
Okay,
it.
we
Tell
could
me.
go on forever about this.
Yeah. I
At one
agree.
point, at no point in any of the movies does Mad Eye Moody say constant vigilance.
That is
That was
also
his
true.
big thing in the
Also
books,
true.
and he never says that in any of the movies. I was waiting for it. I know they never said it. I was
Mad
so
Eye's death
disappointed.
also means nothing in the movies.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
in the movie.
It
It's
doesn't.
sad. It's
fact-
very sad.
Does the real Mad Eye have more than like one line in the movies?
He has more than one line,
maybe.
but that's like quote unquote. He has like more lines when he's telling people, "Hey, drink this polyjuice potion to become
yeah.
Harry." All right, everybody, fly out, and that's basically it.
It
Oh,
really
dear.
is. It's
But anyway,
sad.
let's talk a bit about what they're gonna do with a minifigure series instead of
Let's go
just
for it.
Harry
Yes, back
Potter
to
in
Lego.
general.
Right.
I want an actual molded Elder Wand. I was actually
first off-
discussing this in base earlier. I want that.
First off, though, do you guys think that the rumors will hold true?
I hope so.
I mean, with Fantastic Beasts, it's a possibility, but I don't know. Like, personally, it's
After,
just...
I believe the only other licensed series we've had so far have been Simpsons, Disney, and Batman.
Yes, and Batman doesn't.
Well,
count
the
'cause
Lego
he's a
movie also
tie-in.
counted, and the Lego Ninjago movie also counted.
Like, no, the Lego movie doesn't count as licensed.
They
I don't
kind of
think Lego
do.
movie,
It
Lego
used
Batman, or
licensed
Lego
things,
Ninjago
but
count.
it
No,
was
not in the
generic
minifigure
Lego.
series. The movie did use licensed things, but I don't... Yeah, the minifigure series did not have any licensed characters in it.
All right.
Oh.
I would count. Wouldn't you count the Lego Ninjago movie though, because of the GPL tech?
No.
Silence.
No. Like, Ninjago...
I'm afraid I
Lego's
don't know
IP.
GPL outside of anything else.
All right.
What do you think,
Fair
John?
I feel like the collectible minifigures nowadays are way better than they've ever been in terms of like I'm looking at the stuff for Ninjago, and the minifigures they have for them are spectacular. The printing on is way better. Everything we got Harry Potter a long time ago, honestly, before I was into the franchise, and the minifigures they have
Yeah.
for them, they're okay.
You know what's
and so
funny?
like
We think about Star Wars like the de facto license theme, but Harry Potter is actually right at the same time.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It really, really is.
yeah, no, it definitely. It's interesting looking back at old catalogs and like looking at how the sets look. They're not bad, but they pale in comparison to what we have now. I feel like Lego's doing super high quality
Yeah.
stuff recently. So,
Yeah,
but
and
that-
it's possible
the-
that
the
someone
tw-
at Lego just really wants to redo it and make it better.
Right. And
than
that
it was.
2010 reboot of the theme, it's like it's still on par with today's stuff.
yeah,
Surprisingly.
no, I agree. But I do think those I hope it's true in the sense that I love Harry Potter, and so I'm always glad to see it come back. Isn't tomorrow? Isn't September 1st the day where 19 years later? Isn't that tomorrow? Am I mistaken in that?
I don't recall. It's
don't
been a
know the
while since
exact
I've gotten
date.
into it.
Yeah.
Might be.
But like it'd be a nice like thing to tie in, after we've lived through everything. It's now 19 years later, and like having the franchise back, I feel is really awesome. So
I'm wondering what
loving all of
minifigures
them.
would they do?
Do you think that they're going to do any sets or just the minifigures?
Well, they are going to have sets. I don't know if they'll be based off the original Harry Potter, which I'm sure there'll be
Right.
a couple, actually, because those
Yeah.
are going to sell way better than Fantastic Beasts, I think.
That's
They've
true.
got to do the Hogwarts Express. That's like a given.
I'm
got it.
I'll bet they do Hogwarts Castle and
There is
Hogwarts Express.
Hogwarts
Agreed.
Castle is actually, I think, most likely.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, of any sets that they could do, those are probably the two most likely.
Well, I'd actually kind of. I wouldn't say I disagree because I do want to see those. I actually think they're going to base them almost completely off the movie.
Yeah, that's
And
what I was saying.
don't-
I think we're going to get one big Hogwarts Castle myself. I think Just Too Good actually echoes the same thoughts I did in his video. But I think we're
Yes.
likely to get one big Hogwarts Castle because I really doubt there's going to be anything big and iconic in Fantastic Beasts 2.
What about Ilvermorny?
Beasts. We're gonna have beasts. Lots of beasts.
It's not iconic because we've never seen it before.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it could possibly be a giant set that they have.
Okay,
the
it could.
American
I'll give you
school.
that. It could.
But I mean, listen, I want Hogwarts, so let's.
Yeah, thinking about it now,
We all
if,
want
if
Hogwarts.
Jude Law is going to play Dumbledore, they've got to have Hogwarts.
It's true. That's
Wow.
true.
Like, he can't be anywhere else.
Is Hogwarts going to be in any of the Fantastic Beasts movies?
I
haven't heard
assume
of
it
it is.
is.
It's 5
and it's
of
not
them.
just the
It's only a matter
Fantastic
of
Beasts
time.
movies. It's like this whole, like, prequel thing
Yeah.
with Grindelwald and whatever.
Because I'm thinking in that case, what if they did like sort of like what they're doing with the new Millennium Falcon, which we'll talk about in the next set, where like you'll have Hogwarts, but they'll have minifigures for both Fantastic Beasts and the Harry Potter original.
That would work very
I'd be
well.
down for that.
That'd be cool.
I'm trying. There's a lot of characters actually we haven't gotten in
I feel
minifigure
like-
form for Harry Potter. I'd like to see.
I
Yeah.
feel that if
I
they
want
did
Jacob from
do
Fantastic Beasts.
if they
I want
did
him.
do the minifigure series, it would do 10 and 10. Now
10
that's
from the
I feel like that
old
might
and-
be a better comparison.
They might.
They need the dude with the shark head.
I do think that if I were Lego and I'm looking at what I'm going to do for the collectible minifigures, I would think about making all my sets about the current movie and then all my collectible minifigures.
Yeah,
about
that would make
the
sense.
older
May-
ones.
yeah,
because
that seems
people
better.
would. People are probably they're more likely to try and buy the collectible ones to get
Oh, yeah.
a Harry, to
I
get a
can
Neville, to
guarantee
get like,
you-
That makes a lot of sense.
Original series Harry Potter minifigure series will sell amazing because Harry Potter has some really dedicated fans when it comes to merchandise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's a lot of
I'd
fans.
buy them all up in a heartbeat.
I'm
I'll
thinking,
just
what
say
have we
like
not gotten in a long time? There's Lockhart, and I don't think we ever had a Tonks minifigure either.
no, we didn't. Ooh,
Unless there is somehow a color changing hairpiece.
I got it. I got
just
it.
use the most
Do-
iconic version.
Do Tonks and use the new Lloyd hairpiece.
That could work actually.
That would be a great mold to use.
Yeah, I guess that would
yeah.
work.
But imagine the accessories. How
I'd like a
cool
new
they would
mold
be.
for Hagrid.
Oh gosh.
With
I
an
don't know if they
animatronic
do
face.
him.
Oh, you know they can't put him in there. They cannot put him in the minifig.
Yeah, they couldn't put him in the
blind bags.
collectible minifigs actually.
He'd be
because
too easy.
couldn't.
Too big.
I just wanted to mention
Yeah.
how much I dislike the original Hagrid mold.
The original's
They
fine.
may happen if they do a Hogwarts Express or
Look.
the castle.
Big figs are not that great. They're pretty bad actually. This Hagrid mold is worse than a big fig.
Wow.
I mean, if they gave it hands, like actual, like articulated hands, it'd be better.
Killer Croc is good.
Well, he's not a big fig technically. That's a Rancor fig.
That's true.
But
That's
it still
true,
counts
but
as
he
a
had
big
a
fig.
lot of posability.
No, does the Rancor count as a big fig?
Yes.
Construct.
No.
I
Hagrid confirmed?
actually saw Just Too Good's top 10 big figs that he owns, and the Rancor was in the list.
I will
No.
count the Rancor as a big fig because it does not have it does not have posable legs, and also
Neither do
it's-
normal big figs.
That's what he's
Exactly.
saying.
That's
That's
what
what
I
I'm
was
saying.
just
That's
saying.
what I was saying. Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not a fan of big figs.
Here's
so
why
that's
I
fine.
don't count it because I don't recall the term big fig coming around until we got the Hulk big fig.
That was
Rancor came around.
2012, and the Rancor was 2013.
Oh, darn, I keep forgetting. Never mind, my argument's invalid.
Your argument is
Time
invalid.
has
I
no
win.
meaning here.
Don't do
The
it two
term was
times.
Mic drop.
coined by the Lego Marvel Superheroes video game team.
Huh.
If I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken, but I don't think I am.
Alright, well, that's actually going to do it for this segment. In the next segment, we're going to get into the very recently revealed UCS Millennium Falcon pictures. So, stick around for that. Want to join in on the discussion? Join the BCC Crew Discord server. Link is in the description below. Welcome back to the BCC Podcast, Segment 2. In this segment, we're going to be talking about the new Millennium Falcon UCS, the largest LEGO set ever created to date.
Excellent.
Oh, yes.
Alright, so Mace, you want to grab some pictures for us? We're just going to get right into this. I want to start by talking about the box, actually,
Yeah.
The
because
box.
I'm an AFOL
Gotcha.
and we do that. So, for those who don't know, today is currently August 31st, 2017, and
I
this...
said that.
As we already said.
Yes.
Well, they don't
Don't
listen
listen
to
to
all the
episodes.
sections sometimes.
Some people
you
do
know?
only listen to certain segments. That's one of the reasons we do segments. But anyway, and the pictures were just released this morning, so these are
At
all
exactly
fresh and every...
11:01, which is hilarious.
Huh.
Like, there were actually, like, announcements from people saying, hey, there's going to be a big announcement at 11:01 a.m. when the embargo lifts.
Whoa, I didn't know they were that specific. I just...
Yep.
That is
I,
incredibly
I'm
specific.
looking at an email right now that says new embargo set timing, August 31st at 11:01 a.m.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
very specific. What do they
Weirdos.
want? Like, was the announcement at 11 and the embargo was over at 11:01?
I actually do kind of think that was the reasoning behind it, that Lego would get like the first scoop on it, and then like after. Fun fact, beforehand, what they have done is made it so that all their channels get their things like in half an hour beforehand, the embargo date, and then they lift the embargo for the press junkets and the other people that work with them a half hour later. So Lego gets everything exclusively on social media. The issue with that, and what ended up being a lot of people complained about, is because their site, if they didn't work with Lego, if they didn't keep to the embargo, what they would do is that, oh, Lego did something, I'm just going to type it up and go. That's 10 minutes, new article on my website. And now they had to wait 30 minutes, and because they were like trying to work with Lego, and they were kind of like, hey, this is kind of, it's kind of screwing us over a little bit, honestly, because we're trying to work with you guys, but other sites who don't work with you are able to get ahead of time. So I think they changed it up because of that. No, that's not official, but that's what I think.
Alright. Well, that's interesting, but regardless of that, I'm going to say first, honestly, my favorite part of this new set is the box.
Really? The box.
I really like this box art.
The box
That's
is pretty
Imagine
good,
It
but
honestly
It
is a good
snazzy.
No, it's
I've
amazing.
never seen a Lego box quite like this.
I
It
can't
looks-
believe you need wheels for this.
yeah, the wheel thing threw me off. Like,
That's like
we thought we
ridiculous.
would only be talking about the wheels, and we wouldn't get the set until after we recorded. So we're like,
Yeah,
we're
right?
just not gonna even talk about the wheels. But now that the set is released, you need wheels to carry it out of the store.
This is when, okay, when you need that to carry this something this big out of the store, and this being a Lego set, this stops being a toy, like immediately.
Oh, it's totally not a toy.
This. It's just.
Oh,
it's no
goodness,
longer a
no,
toy.
this-
Not even close.
Yeah, I just love how like
$800.
sleek and professional the box art looks, and it's you'd want it. This is box art you'd want to display. It would look cool to have this up on your shelf.
It's a shame you won't be able.
It'd be
to
cool to
display
have the real
ship
thing on your
top of
shelf.
The box.
That's also true. It'd be
Honestly,
cool
you could
to
just
have
sell
real
the
thing.
box on eBay or something, and you'd get so much money just for the
No,
box.
no, you won't.
No,
Nah.
no,
I would pay for the box.
you
I
would.
wouldn't quite go that far. I just like
Hey,
the box.
with your life.
How much are you willing to pay for that box, Linda?
I would
Oh,
honestly, I would go up to $20 just for the box.
I
That would
wouldn't.
be absolutely max price.
but imagine what a nice story.
I might give you $1 for it, but that's about it.
Hey, I'll salvage
There
it
is a
from your
market for
trash
people who
bin,
buy
but
It's probably made out of like extremely heavy duty cardboard
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
instead of the
It's
normal
gotta be.
cardboard that Lego uses.
You don't want people picking it up and then it explodes out the bottom.
I don't think
you
they'll
don't
be
want
able to
Harrison
pick it up
Ford
normally.
dropping it.
All
Can
the
you
pieces
imagine
just
if
kinda
they had
fall
one on
out.
display? Oh, go ahead, John.
No, I was just making a joke. Go on.
Okay.
So what? Not worth repeating.
Anyway, I was really gonna say, can you imagine if they had this on display? Which I hope they're not gonna put this on display. Because if that box was like scuffed up from like people handling it, I would never consider buying it for that price. By the way, it's $800.
I said
Just
that.
throwing that out there.
It's
You did?
ridiculous.
Okay.
600.
It's-
I was willing to tolerate.
Actually, the price to piece ratio isn't that bad for Star Wars.
It's really not.
but that doesn't
It's
matter.
10.6.
It is too
All
much.
things considered, it's like a 7,500.
Now, I
How
did
much
hear
is it?
that it's the exact same size as the previous one from 10 years ago. Exactly 10 years ago, wow. But they just included more stuff, such as a partial interior and compatibility between the original and sequel trilogies.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. and
That's
that is
cool.
All right, before we get into that,
cool.
let's go through everyone from bottom up here, what they think of the set. Now, John, I listened to the TTV podcast, so I've heard some of your preliminary thoughts on this, but I want to know what you think now that you've seen it.
I'm looking at it. Like I said before, it's about the same size. Again, I think it's a good set. My issue, it's always been, is that now that we know that this set is in release, we know at some point, like I said, we're gonna do a $4,000 piece set. We're gonna do a 7,500 piece set. And they're like, well, let's see, we can do the Death Star and we can do the Millennium Falcon. Which one deserves, 2,000, 3,000 piece upgrade? And I guess they chose the Falcon. And I don't know. I don't really think that was the greatest of decisions. I think it's a great
personally
set.
would, but that's because you can actually make this basically a scale model.
That's what X said, and I totally get the reasoning behind that. But it's the same size as the last one, and that's why I was like, oh, the last one's kind of a scale model. They could just re-release that one and upgrade it a little bit and kind of have the same thing.
Well, that's basically what they did. It's just that one. What year was it released? 2006.
It was released a while
yeah.
ago.
10
It was
years
still
ago,
being
exactly.
sold, though.
Both what sets were cheaper then for one, and this also has a lot more detail than the original.
Way more detail.
And it actually has an interior, which the other one did not.
So,
But yeah,
no,
that's
I really don't have an issue with it personally. I mean, if you're not into the Millennium Falcon, I can see why you wouldn't think this is the best decision in the world. But also,
next to the UCS slave one.
I believe I watched the designer video for this. That is a new mold, if I recall correctly, for the cockpit.
Sweet.
Yep.
So that's nice because I actually felt we've needed a piece like that for a long time too.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Be used for
I
a
think
variety
it's
of other
funny
builds.
that people are complaining about the minifig selection. And it's like, why on earth are you complaining about the minifigs? This thing is amazing.
Because
I
I
can
had
see where
nothing
they're
else
coming
to
from,
complain about.
It's like, I don't care about the minifigs at this point. It's all about the
I do.
ship.
It needs R2, it needs Luke, and it needs Old Ben.
But you can get them
And
in
then
a
it is
$20 set right
R2
now.
is the one I will agree for because it has like all of the episode 5 Millennium Falcon crew except for wait, no, never mind. R2 wasn't there.
It's true, he wasn't.
he was.
Was
He
there
was
at
Luke.
the
I always
end?
forget that.
Dagobah.
Yeah.
I do feel like they could have included maybe like Landau Calrissian.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about this a while ago.
Num.
We wanted Lando. Our
Yes,
selection for
exactly.
this was Lando and 9 Num.
Nine
Nine
would be
Num.
great.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a minifigure still, but 10 Num does.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you.
Nine,
No,
Yeah.
I actually kind of get it.
Death chick guy.
While I understand that, like, some people are like kind of, minifigures can go one way or another. Some people really like them. Some people aren't as a huge fan. But again, Death Star has ton more minifigures, and I do feel like for what we're getting like 7 minifigures here. It's like, okay, well, you could throw us a bone and include some
They
exclusive
could.
ones.
Though
at
to be
least,
fair, this has a better price to piece ratio than the Death Star.
Oh, definitely.
So that's.
Yes, but
I think that gives us a
There's
little
some
bit
middle
more of an
ground,
idea.
please.
I mean, we already kind of knew this, but to confirm where the price of the Death Star is going into, it's the minifigures. Oh yeah, Mace posted a picture of this little creature, which I
The
forget, the
Porg.
orange
Let's
owl
call it a
looking.
The
porg.
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 So that was an
I
odd
can
I love
see
the
it as a
Porg.
conclusion,
bird
in my
penguin.
opinion. because
Yeah, that's
we
what I
haven't even
thought,
seen
too.
those.
Oh,
Someone else thought it looked like a furry penguin.
It's supposed to look
Yes.
like a penguin,
it's
yeah.
supposed.
It's
This
based
is
off
what
of
Star
it.
Wars is banking on to sell new toys.
The porgs are mined from their description. They're basically supposed to like annoy Chewbacca in Episode 8. And I know that LQ doesn't want to have Episode 8 spoilers, but it's not really a spoiler, really. But they
I didn't
remind
see
me
that.
of
reason they're
those.
there.
Has anybody here ever played Knights of the Old Republic?
Nope.
I played it,
I'm afraid.
and then I got bored.
Not even done.
I haven't. No,
Aw,
it was
man.
before my time, man.
At one point, this guy ships you like this kind of crate filled with these like little tiny like I forget what they were called. They were like tiny little like lizard rodent things. And he says like, "Oh, you must take this shipment. You have to. You have no other choice." And no matter how much you try to refuse. And then it gave you like 3 options to get rid of them. You could either like kill them by hand, poison them. I don't know. This and then you have the pacifist route of just paying some guy to take them off your hands. And I remember it cost the same to pay the guy to take them off your hands as it did to purchase the poison to kill them. But they remind me of that for some reason. I don't know why.
I just really question their inclusion.
Same.
Yeah,
I don't want
me
another Ewok situation.
But I love the Ewoks.
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Why do people not like the Ewoks?
I loved the Ewoks
They're
as
great.
a kid. And I watched episode 6, my favorite Star Wars episode for like the longest time. And when Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out, Meso had never seen a Star Wars movie, so we said we're gonna watch all of them, you pagan. And we did. And episode 6 is kind of a drag with the Ewoks. I'm not gonna lie.
I like episode 6 besides the Ewok parts.
Yeah, man. It's like a long part where they're just like standing around, and Leia's like she's talking to this teddy bear, and the teddy bear's like yep, and they're like, what am I watching right now? I thought this was supposed to be Star Wars, and oh man, man, that was good. That was good.
Oh,
I can't do it perfectly.
but please don't do it again.
Hear the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good impression.
Oh, thank you.
9 is
the-
better
yeah,
than
the-
Ewoks.
Yeah,
You know, the Ewoks
yeah, I would
were
have
supposed to
totally
be
traded
Wookiees,
these
but
little
they didn't have a
creatures
budget.
for a 9 minifigure. Which, at this point, I can say our hopes and dreams for that are dead.
They are. And also,
I'm sure
Well,
we'll get him eventually.
here's what I'm thinking: Star Wars Episode 9 collectible minifigure wave.
Maybe.
They'd have to,
alive.
you know,
As
I'd
of
love that.
episode 7, he's active.
I'd love that, but they're going to increase the price if they do it for Star Wars collectible minifigures.
Oh,
so I don't
yeah.
want it to happen.
Oh, you're right. And
Yeah, $10 a minifig.
if you notice, I believe they've only really done it for Warner Brother owned franchises, not for anything Disney.
No, they have done a
They did
Disney.
do
They did a
Disney
Disney
stuff.
specific minifigure series.
No, they did. You're right. I guess. Yeah. You're totally right about that. That's
Real quick,
I overlooked that.
I love the expression on the old Han Solo's face. It's just like, have I gotten paid yet?
That's not a new print, though, is it?
Are we
Is it?
done here?
Is it not?
I don't think it is. I don't think there's a new print at all for Han.
I mean,
Really?
He's too old for this.
Look
Ford
it up.
has the actual figure, so I
do
think
have
you would
the old Han.
observe
Just
that,
haven't
you know?
looked at it in a while.
Of course.
You know, speaking of
I'm disappointed with
Han,
the C-3PO.
This hair is good for old Han, but it's kind of blasphemous because, you know, old Han is supposed to have that classic Lego hair.
Yeah,
I'm
something
gonna
feels
do
off about C-3PO, and I can't
Well, it's
put
the
my finger on
old
what
print
it
form.
is.
They had, that really cool polybag C-3PO for Episode 7 with the arm printing and the side leg printing and everything. Can't
Yes,
we
look
get
at
an
his leg
updated
print.
C-3PO finally for the original trilogy?
Instead of a silver leg, he had the silver kneecap.
Yeah, and
That's it.
I'm not sure they
Why-
can do this actually, but you know what would be great? If they
Yes.
had one leg dual molded to silver.
Right?
That
All
would
he
be
had
really
was a
cool.
silver kneecap.
Yeah, no,
Kneecap.
I'm not a huge fan of that. Also, it would be nice to get the like another C-3PO with the red arm, since they're like trying to say, oh, we're gonna go back and forth between the episodes.
Yeah.
You know, you
I
can get
can't
Rey.
really
you can get
tell,
Ren stuff.
but I think it's slightly different from the first version of the old Han. I can't
Alright.
really tell from
Hmm.
it at this point. I don't have the minifigure in
It's a
front of
speck
me,
of
and
dust.
all the pictures, like, I can only find one very small picture of him in the neutral face. They all have the smile face.
I do
So-
find
Look at
it
this
kind of
Chewbacca
funny
face,
that
his eyes look
there's
soulless.
what, 7,000 something pieces here, and we're only talking about the minifigures.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, do you want to talk
Well,
about the
there is-
4
Yeah,
by
let's talk about the
4
ones.
let's talk about the
Okay.
set a little bit more before the segment runs out.
I love
Yes.
the interior. That's a great inclusion.
Yeah,
I just
Very-
wish there was
it
more of
very
it.
looks
cool.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I don't like the fact that they have those stickers to represent hallways instead of building actual hallways.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's cheating.
I
It's
understand that
completely
they had to
unfair.
sacrifice the interior for structure and features, but like, did we really need a feature with the drop-down gun from Empire Strikes Back?
Actually, I like finding that kind of cool.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
cool, but it's
Drop-down
like,
guns
did we
are
have
always
to waste some space on that? And then, do we get retractable landing gears at long last? As far as I know, no.
I heard there
Don't know
was
if they're
7. I don't know if they
retractable or
retract
not.
though.
I heard there were 7 as well. And according to the designer video that came out earlier, not only is it the size of a small child, but it also has no retractable landing gears, which like no skin off my bones, but at the same time it's like you had that much space.
Right.
You're doing something this complex. You could have done that.
Yeah, that is disappointing about the set. Is there's a lot of areas where it could have been a little bit better, which for the price is disappointing.
Yeah.
Now, of course, $800 is a lot, and they probably didn't want to go above that.
Right.
But
Yeah, I totally understand that.
I do love that they can actually walk up the landing ramp, unlike any of the other smaller scaled Millennium
Oh
Falcons.
yeah, that's a great thing. It's great.
That is cool.
Yeah, I love that that can go up and down.
And they can fit 4 in the cockpit. Ugh.
And honestly, the outside design, I personally think is great.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
mind
I
the
actually
green.
think it's better than the original UCS.
And that's
Oh,
saying
definitely.
something. Coming
And it
from
comes with a
you.
Minoc.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so going back to the minifigs real quick. I'm sorry. It comes with the
Ford,
Minoc.
why do you love every Star Wars alien ever?
Minocs are cool.
Minocs are soulless
I find
creatures, essentially, though. Why do you care about the Minocs? They got, like, less screen time than Trader and Boba Fett.
Put together.
It's
They
just
got
like,
less
they're
screen
so
time than the
weird
Destic
looking.
guy.
I
In all
love
fairness, though,
them.
people love Boba Fett.
It's like the
Hey,
Minocs
no,
are
that's
Yeah,
a
I
good
love
point.
Boba
When
Fett.
are we getting the bar where Zam got her hand cut off? We need the Destic guy.
Gosh.
I would actually pay good money for that
They could
minifigure.
do like the same thing with like the Mantis minifig where they like molded on the antenna and everything on the
Yeah.
hair.
Right.
Exactly.
They could do that.
That'd be kind of
And
nice.
look at the guy holding the
That's
Millennium
the
Falcon.
designer of it. Like
It's...
Yeah, look at the
It's the
design
size of a
the
small
struggle
child.
on his face.
it's like
You can see
oh
from
man,
his face
I wish
that
Leo
he's
were here.
trying to make it
Klenda,
look like he's not straining to hold it to pretend like he's strong.
right? Klenda,
He's dying
this thing
inside,
is
you
like
can tell
the
from his
Fortress
face.
Maximus of Star Wars.
It really is. There's a lot happening. I don't know quite how to put it. It very well captures the idea of what the Millennium Falcon is, which is basically a junk heap.
Right.
It's
Right.
a
But
YT
it's-
1300.
Well, what's left of it.
I like
anyway.
how it actually looks presentable from the underside.
Yeah.
I
You know
That's
the main
actually...
reason I don't care about the landing gear not being retractable? No one's going to be holding this up to make it fly around and whoosh through the air.
That is
Well, I
true.
suppose that is true. No one is going to be throwing this.
Yeah, how would you
Harrison
retract the
Ford
landing gear,
would.
come to think of it? How would you hold it up?
Oh, man, I remember when he did that.
Strap it from a building.
You'd,
That would be funny.
I remember when he did that.
Oh man, that guy's hopes and dreams just
Shattered
Oh.
onto the
Because
floor.
once he collected the pieces, he had a UCS Millennium Falcon signed by Harrison Ford, so...
yeah, a piece
If
of
he
it,
got his pieces
and then
back.
it was thrown on the floor.
I'd say it's worth it.
If he gets the pieces
Reassemble
back.
it, but you get.
We
the
don't know
piece.
if he did.
And then Harrison
Alright.
Ford proceeded to make the "Am I getting paid for this?" face that he always makes. I love Harrison Ford. Don't get me wrong, he's great, but he just always has that face. You know what I mean?
No, totally. I mean, listen, he knew what he was getting paid for to be back in Star Wars. he was happy of it.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing we actually haven't talked about. Actually, John, I don't think you got a chance to comment on anything with the interior or exterior, anything if you had anything to say.
Oh yeah, I wanted to leave it up to you guys, but yeah, basically the interior is kind of cool. There's some really cool like neat details in it. Again, I'm just like I'm someone who loves interiors. I love interiors more than exteriors, and I love like modular buildings, all that stuff. So again, it seems like a lot of work went into this, and I think it's really cool. I'm still like, and I wouldn't say salty, but I'm still like, well, I think the Death Star could have benefited more from it. So while I do think it's still really cool, there's a lot of things that I feel could have been improved. The outside of the Millennium Falcon, I feel, is the most iconic part of that set, as opposed to like something like the Death Star or any other play where like the inside, what happened inside, the scenes inside, that's what's iconic. The Millennium Falcon's iconic for the cockpit and the shape.
I see.
Well, I'd say the whatever game chessboard.
Oh yeah,
is
that
pretty
too.
iconic,
That too.
That is in. That will be in.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah, that is really cool actually. But yeah.
So one more thing before we actually have to wrap up this segment. We didn't mention it yet, but it is what's the word I'm looking for? Transformable, probably not the word, but you can change it between the versions of the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy by swapping out the satellite dishes, both of which look fantastic, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It also comes to like little things on the mandibles as well.
Yeah, I was confused about that. I was like, is something different there between the
didn't
trilogies?
notice those. Like at all.
I had not noticed this until this set. So
Yeah, they're like in the
I
video,
didn't
they're
know
like,
they
oh,
were.
and you can remove these, and then it's you got the sequel trilogy one. I'm like, what?
you take
Like,
out the bean and then
there's
you
a
put
difference?
out the nose.
So I'm not the only one that didn't notice any difference.
No.
even know
Maybe it's shown more prominently in The Last Jedi. You never know. You know.
They'll have an
It's true.
entire featurette on it.
Last one is the Millennium Falcon Goes Home. That's the name of the last episode.
But yeah, also the satellite dish is, I believe, printed, by the way.
The little
Which is
Millennium
great.
Falcon.
That inside printing for the dish piece had only been done once before for the Big Ben set.
Really?
Really?
AKA the UCS Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I guess this set is getting me excited for Episode 9, Falcon Flies Home.
Episode 9, All Falcons Go to Heaven.
I just had to look up pictures from The Force Awakens. I really don't see any difference on the front of the ship.
I don't know what those little pieces go to, and I'm afraid I'm still confused.
I thought you took one of the dishes off and replaced it with that.
You do,
thing,
but then you
I
also
do,
take the
but-
things off the front.
The thing.
You take the things off the things and put the
Yeah,
thing
what
where
are
the
those
thing
things
used to be.
anyways? Does anyone know what they
I
are?
don't know.
I don't.
No one
And I've not
knows.
seen
Like,
anything that states what they are.
Sensor arrays? I don't know, man.
Guns?
Extra guns? Yeah, that would be my thought.
Both of its arms are. Wait.
Stabilizes.
I have no idea.
What do you think, John?
I honestly don't know one way or the other. To be honest, like
They just look like
The set confuses
pieces
me.
of junk.
they
I
kind of do.
showcase some.
But that's the
Piece of
aesthetic. That's the aesthetic they're going for, you know.
Then why do we
It might
remove
be
them?
micro-scale Millennium
Why
Falcon.
don't you just
I
put
don't
one
know,
on and
man.
take the other one off, and then it'd be a real piece of junk.
Legitimately, like as someone who really loves Star Wars, I couldn't tell you that difference, and I wouldn't care honestly if they didn't.
I know,
do it.
I'm like, what was the point of
I
this
don't-
of all
Go
the
to
things?
Wikipedia, you know?
I mean, it's the ultimate collector
micro-scale
series.
Falcon.
Sure, I get
Yes.
that. Ultimate collector, you want to make sure that all the little details and stuff are there. Fine. But then it's like, okay, we can remove this, and okay, that's cool, and we have
See,
stickers
there's
for
the
hallways.
cockpit.
Okay,
All right.
no, didn't the prop Millennium Falcon they were using in Episode 7 have a Batman Tumblr cameo on the bottom of it?
What?
I'll bet it
I
did, but I can't remember.
I
I
would
believe this
not
was
put
a
it
thing.
past them.
You're gonna need to like give me some pictures.
Yeah, I'll
It
find a
happened.
source. We actually have to take another break here, so I'm going to grab that during the break, and then we'll come back. We're going to talk about more Star Wars, but this will have more to do with the Last Jedi sets and YouTube. Stick around for that.
Here we go.
Yep, here we go. I've been wanting to discuss this. Have a question or comment you'd like us to answer on the podcast? Just send us an email at thebccpodcast@gmail.com. Welcome back to the BCC podcast, segment 3. Not the final segment this week. We're going to be discussing a recent controversy going on with the Last Jedi sets, and we'll give the overview of that in just a second. But first, I want to mention I was right about the Batman cameo on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
And I will include a
forgot
picture of it in
about
the podcast, but it was there.
Such an odd cameo.
Alright,
It's not
so...
like J.J. Abrams has any connection to
I'd forgotten that I
Batman.
had seen this, but I had.
I've never
so
seen
John,
it.
you probably know more about the situation than me, actually, because you've been a little bit more in the loop. So would you like to explain what's been going on with the Last Jedi sets?
Sure. As well as I know. Basically, the situation that's going on right now is that some people are being not copyright stricken yet, but they have been sent emails asking them to take down reviews of Star Wars The Last Jedi sets. Now, these sets have an embargo set for Force Friday, which is upcoming tomorrow, and actually I think a lot of the LEGO sites got the clearance to release that today. However, these sets are not supposed to be revealed until this, tomorrow, basically. Today, tomorrow,
It's
those
kind
are
of
the
funny
days
because
supposed to be
everyone's
revealed.
seen them at this point.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen them. Not only that, people have bought them and they reviewed them. They bought them off
Yep.
store shelves. They
Right.
showed up somehow on store shelves, and so now Lego has sent an email from what Lego Jang is the biggest person here. Lego Jang has done a video essentially talking about how Lego sent him an email requesting that he take it down, and he felt that it was wrong for reasons I'm sure we're all going to get into, but. Right now, that's where it stood, and I actually don't remember. Did he actually take down the videos, or was it like a?
He took him down.
He did.
Yeah,
Okay.
he took him down.
And Just Too Good is not doing that, right?
No, he's not doing that, and Just Too
not
Good
doing
is
that.
mad, by the way.
Yeah, he went
Really?
off in his video.
Severely ticked off.
But rightly so. I just find it kind of hilarious when people are mad. It's one of my not as great traits. Anyway, no, I love Just Too Good, don't get me wrong. But, okay,
Yeah, great.
I'm not sure if John has seen this actually, but there was an update on Jang's video where Lego did comment on it, and they say it was a mistake in brief terms. We'll put the comment up on screen. You guys can all read it for yourself or go to Jang's video and watch it for yourself. However, whether Lego calls this a mistake or not, there's an underlying issue with YouTube here.
There is
And-
one thing I have to say, and that is, you're welcome, Jang. Because Lego sent you an email instead of actually just doing the copyright takedown.
Yeah.
It's because I had to sit down with them and it was like, hey, you guys probably don't know how this works, but you literally almost killed our channel. So please just send us an email next time and we'll get it figured out. And then, so, you know, you're welcome for not having your channel taken down for a week where you can't upload videos.
Yeah.
Just
And-
to get in Jang, yeah.
This has
know
been
who to
talked to
thank.
death to a point, but I feel it's really becoming relevant for our community again, the YouTube copyright strike system.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah.
So, John, you had a situation with TLDR, which I don't think we'll go over the whole thing here. Do you remember what episode you talk about that in the TTV? Was that the one you did like during review week before Brick Fair?
No, well, okay, so TLDR had been copyright stricken beforehand, and I forget which ones directly it were, but long story short, they were stricken at some point in time earlier in the months. TLDR, for those who don't know, it's like a comedy show where we do like a comedic review of the Ninjago series. The best way I would describe it, if you see like Ethan H3, you know how he does, it's like that but for Ninjago episodes. That's like
And it's
actually
Yeah, it was at least.
I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite series on the channel.
Oh yeah.
We had to delete it. We had to delete the entire series off because it got copyright stricken, and then we made a video about The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi images being released, and that was the big one. That was the one that shut down our channel, and that was the big controversy. So,
So going back to the Ninjago ones real quick, we actually had to have a meeting about this ourselves on our channel because
Yeah.
people who follow our channel know I've been starting a new series, Ninjago Explained, recently. I talk throughout the entire thing, and I only have used little quotes, and I did not a copyright strike, but a claim against one, which I disputed and won. But
Okay.
we were discussing this, like how I'm going to take that series moving forward, because it does take a lot of production value when you can't use video clips in your video.
Yeah.
100%. I don't like using screenshots, and sometimes we do it just to like kind of circumvent that filter.
thought
But I
the rule
always
of
like
thumb-
doing videos.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do because we are a smaller channel here, and I can't afford to really just strike that entire series. But at the same time, I also really can't afford to get a copyright
I thought
strike.
the rule of thumb was like you can't use up to like 10. You can't use above 10 seconds.
Well, the
or
rule of
something
thumbs
like
don't
that.
apply.
Well, apparently not
Yeah,
anymore.
it's a
like
bot. A bot is
I thought
Not
that
in
was like
this
a
world.
YouTube thing where you can use like up to 10 seconds at a time of a different video. I
I
thought.
It's a dumb robot.
I've
that's
heard
doing
that
Ford,
before.
That is
I've
not
heard
the
that
world
before,
we
but
live in now.
Apparently
in this world,
not.
It's
Like-
kill or be killed.
Here's what I don't get. I don't get how TLDR, which has a ton of original content, different music, editing on top of it, we do everything we can to like make it our own production. It's not just replaying clips from the TV show and then doing a little reaction thing to it. We put a lot of work into the comedy that goes. It's very much a transformative work. Any jury looking at it, if this was an actual civil rights case, or not civil rights case, but actually like in the lawsuit that took place, any one of them would agree with us. The issue is, not only does YouTube decide to err in the judgment of someone else, on top of that, I don't know how other channels do it. How does CinemaSins get away with it?
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
totally selective favoritism.
They have a little counter in the top, and then like they make a snarky comment like every 2 minutes or something. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, and the issue is these claims are so hard to dispute. It takes forever.
hard.
Like for that one clip in one of my episodes of Ninjago Explained, I had to wait forever, even though it was clearly under fair use. Like anyone could have taken 30 seconds and seen, oh yeah, that's under fair use. They don't care though. And I really think if someone, okay, let me be careful here.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to
Becca,
say,
take
you know,
a few
there's a
breaths.
reason this system is in place. I don't want anyone to think I don't understand why there are people who pirate content out there, and that's why this is in place. And they can't go and look through every video. But at the same time, when there's legitimate creators out there basically suffering for this, something is wrong with the system. And YouTube has known this for a really long time. And at this point, it's getting kind of inexcusable, in my opinion.
It really is. And part of it too, additionally, is that like there's a difference between copyright takedowns and copyright strikes. Takedowns are essentially where your video is basically demonetized for a while, and a lot of times that actually, what it results in is that you don't make any money off that video. It hasn't really hurt us too much. We usually be able to fight against that, and YouTube has started doing a thing now where they withhold that money instead of awarding it to somebody. They withhold it, and then once after review, then they award the money to whoever gets it. Copyright strike, however, it's manually enforced. So the copyright takedowns are a robot, essentially an algorithm going through matching up bits of data from what they think matches up with a copyright song or something like that. A copyright strike is manually done by someone in the LEGO headquarters, and not necessarily with LEGO. Even though the thing says LEGO, something can come from a partner.
Yeah, I think it's contracted out myself. I don't have proof for that. That's just the feel I get.
The same thing. I get that feel as well. But it becomes a big issue when things like this happen. With Jang, I feel Jang is way more in the clear than Just Too Good, to be honest. Because Just Too Good does use the actual images that LEGO had told us not to use, and but to be fair, they also told us not to use it a little too late, and that was a whole controversy with the thing where we made a news video about it. LEGO. The leaks are posted online. They're retailer leaks. They're not anything from a catalog. And by LEGO's own standards, they give us standards what counts as a leak and what doesn't. And by LEGO's own standards, this is something that you can do. So we waited for about a day, 2 days, I think, for them to like say anything. They said nothing. We put it up. We do the video. Video's out for 3 more days. We get a copyright strike. It's our third one, and then our channel's in critical mode. And for them, I think LEGO just took. There's scheduling conflicts, so LEGO took a while to respond, but that was a tough situation. And now that Just Too Good is under that same thing, he's using the images, he's coming under fire. Jang is literally just taking a set he got from Walmart or wherever he bought it and reviewing that, and now he's coming under fire too from LEGO's legal.
Yeah, that's the most inexcusable of them all, because that is technically his
Yeah.
property that he's reviewing.
Yeah, you
Right,
bought
exactly.
it with proper
With his
legal
money.
tender. Like, if you bought it with legal tender, you didn't, like, ship it from anywhere else, you didn't pirate it in any way, Like, you didn't get it from some kind of, like, back alley guy selling watches out of his coat. Like, you got it legitimately. You should be able to make content using it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. But we looked at some of the Star Wars sets that were being released, and we made the decision to not play with that fire. And I feel like that was ultimately, for our channel, it worked out just because... It's
also,
very
for anyone listening that listens to us regularly, that's why we hadn't talked about them since they've been out so long.
Oh, we actually,
on them yet.
If you look at the video brick feed, there's a whole segment. It's about 15 minutes we cut out because we can't talk about the Star Wars sets. We did a whole 20-minute segment on it, and that was all gone because just don't want to risk it.
That's ridiculous.
Is it just me, or are the Star Wars restrictions a lot more?
Oh no, they totally are.
Than
Definitely.
Yeah.
Way more.
I'm sure
way more.
it's I'm sure if these were Lego's original IP, they would not be hitting it as hard, but they're gonna get in trouble with Disney is the issue.
What doesn't make sense to me is why do you
stuff?
have such an embargo? Like, wouldn't you want people to know that your product is coming out beforehand rather than coming out that
here's
day?
the deal.
Doesn't make sense.
The idea is that Lego has to compete with other knockoff competitors in other parts of the world. And I won't name them, but everyone knows where to find them and everything. And so, in order to combat this, and also there's an additional thing where a lot of parents are confused and they don't know the difference between Lego and some other Mega Bloks, Mega Construct now, other things. So there's a lot of brand confusion. Lego knows for a fact the reason why AFLLs are so you ever hear people say, "Oh, don't say Legos, say Lego bricks," right? That's a community thing, right? That's a really a legal thing, because if you say Legos too often and you refer to a general type of thing, that can essentially that becomes generic sized, and you can use Lego to refer to anything, like Jello, like Kleenex, like
Band-Aids,
Xerox, Band-Aids. So Lego's trying to circumvent that, and they're also trying to make sure that they don't have enough time to copy what they're doing after the initial announcement. But they are getting a lot quicker at it. So I don't know what the things there.
Well, that is in a lot of cases true, and that's why I don't support leaks at all ever. However, with the Last Jedi sets, the time between the release of the pictures and the sets is a lot less than it is with most Lego sets.
Yeah,
because any other sets coming out within that time frame, we've already gotten pictures of.
Right.
And I feel like more recently, with the whole embargo thing, they've really been hitting it with tooth and nail on the embargoes, and it all started with Ninjago. Think of that.
It
wasn't too long ago that we were complaining how, we got street dated. This is stupid. And now we're complaining about it again. But now they've actually taken legal action.
This is the first time Lego's really done that. And really, honestly, the Ninjago movie was the first time that I feel a street date has been enforced to that measure across all retailers. And it's an effort on Warner Brothers' part. That's what we were told by Lego. Warner Brothers, because the Ninjago movie is being produced by them, they've locked down. The same thing, Justice League. We tried to buy a Justice League set, and it was already street dated.
I didn't realize Warner Brothers had that much sway in the Lego Ninjago movie. When I know they're producing it, but
so I guess basically it was, oh hey retailers, you got Ninjago, keep it. Right. Same with the Justice League.
Keep it to yourself.
Then a month later, oh, you got the Star Wars? Wait, you already sold them? What are you doing?
I think it's interesting. Warner Brothers, they do have a closer working relationship, of course, with Lego, because they're working with the designers and everything to make sure the sets get represented in the movies.
Right.
And Warner Brothers, the CEO of Warner Brothers recently came out and he announced that the 3 tentpoles of Warner Brothers productions from now going forward were the DC comics, Superman, Batman, that whole wing, then the Harry Potter universe and the Lego universe. Those 3 are the big pillars of DC. So. Or not DC, of Warner Brothers. So Lego is being mentioned in the same conversation as Harry Potter and Superman when it comes to these are movie franchises that we're really focusing on. So they're cracking down. Disney is also cracking down, but they're cracking down in a different way. And I think that we're seeing the effect of that here. Warner Brothers did not, even though people got the sets early, they didn't crack down on them. Disney is cracking down on people doing Star Wars stuff. And I would assume possibly next year when Infinity War sets come out and different stuff, I assume we're going to see something along those lines of a crackdown on images and things. So
Oh, for sure.
It's a scary place out there for leakers.
I think that Just Too Good said something very similar, didn't he? About it's Disney doing this, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Only
That's the
in
impression
different
I got
terms.
from all the statements from everyone.
Right.
It doesn't seem like it's Lego.
no, it's not. They have partners, and they Lego. And again, view it this way: Lego has a vested interest in making sure that the channels that are doing essentially goodwill promotion for them, that they have a good relationship with them, that they're able to communicate and do that. But Disney doesn't really have that. They don't need that, right? People that buy Avengers sets,
Oh yeah,
they're gonna
Disney
buy
definitely
Avengers sets.
doesn't
They're gonna
care
buy Star Wars
about
stuff.
anyone creating fan content.
Right. What they care about is spoilers, because we live in such a spoiler-heavy culture and a review-heavy culture and everything. And Star Wars is the biggest, I would say, like in terms of like spoilers, keeping it under wraps. Star Wars is #1 on.
Oh
any
yeah,
movie
definitely for me.
franchise.
I'm the only one here who hasn't watched the Last
Without
Jedi
it.
trailer, even though it's like spoiler free.
Honestly, you're not missing much.
I know I'm
Just
not,
saying.
but I just went in saying, no, I just want to have, I want to have this experience where I sit down and I have no idea what I'm going to see in the movie.
Good luck with that.
No, I appreciate that. I wish I'd done that for Civil War, man. I'd be so psyched if Spider-Man showed up, and I had no idea Spider-Man was going to be there.
Oh,
That would be
I
even
would've-
harder than I think The Last Jedi, because that was
everyone-
all over the internet.
That was all over the internet. I would have I would have freaked out so much. You can't imagine.
That would have been so amazing. But I knew the second they made the deal with Marvel, I knew he was going to be there.
But yeah, that's
So,
the situation.
I want to
right
bring this around to another point. I really don't blame Lego or Disney or anyone really so much as the YouTube system in the end. Because really, this shouldn't be such a big deal if these threats weren't
Yes.
so hazardous to people's channels.
That's true. If it's just, hey, take this off, bro. Okay, I'll turn it
Yeah,
off.
and I feel like most of the big Lego YouTubers out there, like even Just Too Good, again, mentions this in his video, they will comply with what Lego tells them. I think we all want to be on good terms with Lego here.
Yeah.
No one like wants to make them mad except for, hey, there's some people out there, but
Yeah.
It's
really-
not.
Well-
It's not.
Most people.
It's
Yeah,
not fruitful to have a bad working relationship with Lego if you have a Lego channel. You know.
It's rather counterproductive.
Right.
So really, I don't want to call anyone to action here, but I really want to urge YouTube. Again, I have no voice on this, but we need a better system. One that is fair to both, the people who have these intellectual properties and the people making content within fair use. Because it is not getting better. Some people seem to think it has. You don't really hear people talking about it. I think that's because YouTube has let up on the bigger channels, especially.
Yeah.
But I don't think any Lego channel really qualifies as a big channel in the grand scheme of things these days.
I think, well, here's the issue and why I do pity YouTube in a sense. There are I don't know how many days worth of content uploaded every minute. Literally days worth of content. 48 hours, 72 hours. It's a huge, gigantic number, and it grows bigger and bigger all the time. I'm probably underselling it by a huge margin. So you have to understand that there's a lot of channels out there that don't have any subscribers, or they have very little subscribers, and they have a lot of videos, and some of them are just music. Some of them are just things. And YouTube has to prioritize how they do it, and having a robot.
Here's
go
my
through-
solution to that.
Okay, go for it.
Trust levels based on, what type of content user produces, how much any views they're getting, how long they've been around. I think that would be the fairest way to do it.
That's what I feel they're doing. Yeah.
Like I said, they're kind of doing that out of the really big channels, but I think it needs to be scaled back a bit. So, someone's got to have enough time, because we have to get verified for certain things to do stuff on YouTube already.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have a system like that for basically anyone with over 500 subscribers to a point, and then it's more prioritized than 1,000, and I don't have an issue with that. But right now, it's way too high up there. Only the big ones like Cinema Sins and Honest Trailers are getting this treatment.
Hishy.
And it should be, especially people with 10,000 subscribers should get some sort of leniency on this.
I mean, listen, I've been a small channel beforehand, so it's like this, it's. I identify so much with this, as you're growing and something happens and you're like, oh, will I not be able to grow anymore? And it but it is interesting to me right now, and this is just a matter of perspective. I would have said the threshold should have been 50,000 subscribers, as opposed to 500. And I don't think there's a disconnect when I'm because I talked to someone at YouTube about this because we have a contact at YouTube that we meet with every, I would say, half year or so. And so it's funny, that they scheduled their meeting actually for like during the week where we probably would have lost our channel. So like I talked to him about that and was like, well, we came this close to not having anything to talk about, man. But it was interesting that like what they said, there's so many channels and like, dude, you like 500, it seems like a huge
no, I totally get what you're saying, don't get me wrong.
There's so many out there. So
I just sometimes got to get a balance between how many there are, and there are a lot of channels with that many subscribers that make fairly decent content.
I totally agree. You know, I mean, we were making, you know, you guys are making great content, and you guys, you know, and like you everyone's still growing, and it's like you're in that stage. Like I feel right now, we're in a stage of TTV where it's like we have a lot more places to grow. And like we're steadily getting there. We're trying to get that pace, but like we're not at the level where I think like.
And then things like this just come in, basically are a huge distraction.
Just a nightmare. It's like it really was the worst. I actually had like a mini panic attack on my way to to go to talk to Kevin Hinkle. Who's the Lego representative at Brick Fair. I had to I was like driving. I had to like call someone and be like,
you know, I can't really decide if that actually happened for you at an opportune time with, you know, getting contact with all these people, or like an inopportune time because so much else was going on.
I think it was opportune because we talked to him a bit about it before, and I do think that like having him be on the floor of that, or having him know, like, because we told him, we said, hey, we're taking the video down now before we got the strike. And he said, awesome. I said, we made it private. We're like, we're taking it down. Maybe we'll make it unlisted again when you know, the official things comes out. And they gave us a copyright strike on a private video. And so then we came back to him. We said, hey, you know, our channel's gonna be deleted in a week. And he said, call this person, talk to them, do this thing. But I do think that actually had a pretty decent Lego is approaching things different now, and I would hope that part of that was because of what happened to us.
I'd hope so too.
And yeah, I talked to the people at Lego and like sent them a little email about like, hey, this thing actually means a way bigger deal. We finally got it. Actually, they said they would take care of it. They didn't take care of it for like 4 days, and like the last day, we're literally like 24 hours. We're about to do a live stream that said, hey guys, this is it. Gonna see you guys later. Here's a new channel. Maybe subscribe to that, please. But fortunately, we ended up having to submit the repeal, and they immediately took it off. And I think that's because they didn't realize, they didn't like, I'm not gonna say they didn't know how to do it, but it was like a thing where they didn't know how to reseed it. So we just sent a copy of the email saying we'll take care of it, and just said, hey guys, just press this button and we'll do it. And
to be fair,
half an hour later,
I don't think anyone who's not a YouTube channel knows how severe this system is.
No, I don't blame it at all. That's not their responsibility to know how YouTube channels work.
All right, well,
YouTube.
That's probably going to be where I'm going to cut this conversation for now, but I think we got all the main points in there.
Yeah, sorry for like kind of overpowering that conversation.
No, that's great. I mean, it's great to have some, other perspective on here. We'll have hundreds more episodes to discuss this ourselves, I'm sure. All right, so one more segment left after this, and we're going to get to our normal stuff. We're going to ask John some of our traditional guest star questions, as well as play a game of various variants hosted by Millennium. Stick around for that. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for new LEGO content every week at the BCC Crew. Welcome back to the BCC podcast, our fourth and final segment of this supersized podcast. We're going to get into some questions with John. LEGO Idea Spotlight is on hold for this week just because of all the news, but it will return next week. And then after that, we're going to play a game of various variants hosted by Malaris.
A quick thing with LEGO Ideas, I did hear that the next review will cap by Monday, which I believe is September 4th, right? It'll cap by Monday, September 4th, so anything that's up for review, nothing else would be accepted.
All right, so yeah, we're probably gonna talk about that next week too,
Well,
because we always like to go through
yeah,
those.
we probably
and-
will, but I'm just letting everybody know now.
Yeah, no problem. And of course, yeah, this comes up Monday, so it'll be relevant.
Yeah.
All right, so John, every time we have a new guest star on the podcast, we have our associate Orion write a list of questions which may or may not be relevant.
To
Okay.
anything at all. Ever.
In life.
Never.
So we're going to have you pick a number 1 through 9, and then you answer the question.
Okay. I'm gonna go lucky number 7.
All right.
Good choice.
If for some reason Valve and LEGO teamed up to release a game bundle that consisted of 4 or 5 remastered and expanded LEGO website games, which games would you most want to bundle and for what reasons?
Oh, okay. Let me think. All right. So the first one is obviously Monog.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say Monog 2 because Monog 2 I feel is a better game overall than Monog. It's on a streamlined. It has more
I'd say
world building.
both in this case.
Yeah, sure. Let's bundle them both. Let's just do both. When I have them. Because
Monog
man,
collection.
And then I would actually, because this is let me think. I would actually do. This is an older game, the Mars Mission game. If you guys remember that.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
such a
Yes.
great game.
I played that one.
I loved that game. And it was free online, and it was an Lego RTS, and I love RTSs. I'm a huge fan of Age of
Yeah,
Empires.
Age of Empires.
I would love to have a fully featured Lego RTS again. They used to have one a while ago. I think it was like Lego Castle or something.
Lego Battles. It had
Lego
space,
Battles,
pirates,
right,
and Knights. Yeah,
Wasn't
and
that on
it was
the
really
DS?
fun. Yeah, it was on the DS. It was actually
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, no, it was really
Now,
fun.
for
I lost my
scrubs
copy
like
of it,
me,
though.
what is RTS?
Real-time
it's a
strategy.
Real-time strategy. It's like a
Gotcha.
you have an
Okay,
overview.
I'm not
you
the only one who didn't know what that meant.
yeah, sorry about that. Clarify for the audience. You control your armies, and you build structures, and you send them out. It's really fun. Like
Yeah, I play Age of Empires at
That's
least
cool.
once a month, so
oh,
I'm
Age of
way
Empires
into
4, hype man. I'm
Oh
so
yeah,
excited.
I'm so hyped.
Okay,
And
sorry.
definitive edition of 2, but
Leo would love that.
I doubt
would,
anyone in the audience knows what that is. So
I would-
let's go on.
Here's what I would want. This is Valve, right? You said Valve and Lego.
Yeah.
Valve and Lego, definitely Lego Worlds. And the Lego Worlds with compatibility for Source Filmmaker would make things way easier for doing an animated show that I've always wanted
All
to
right.
do.
Well, that is a cool answer. Technically, the question did say website games.
Oh, website. You're right. Okay, in that case, Lego Island
That
2.
would be so awesome, though.
Website.
Lego Island 2
Lego
was
Island
also
2
not a
is
website
No,
game.
I'm sorry. No, Lego Backlot 2. That's what I'm
Oh.
thinking. No, Lego Island.
Backlot had a second.
Did Backlot have a second one? I thought I only had Backlot. The regular
I thought there was
Backlot.
I think the Backlot that everyone remembers is Backlot 2, and I think there was an original Lego Backlot that was not as good. But I might be just misremembering things. So
Okay, well, I'm
whatever
looking it up in
Backlot is.
Google, and Backlot 2 is like one of the first things to come up, so it seems it does exist.
Okay, all right. I would have that
Change
one.
it
That was
one
that
more.
was a really fun. It was a really it was an old game. I actually did an old Let's Play
It
that a
was
while
really
ago,
old, but it was so cool for its
it was
time.
really cool for its time.
It's still kind of cool.
I should look into that. I have not actually played that one.
Let me
What?
think about. I'm trying to think about
research
any
up
Lego
on that?
games. Lego games kind of got kind of lame. As
Yeah,
time
no,
went on.
they
They
totally
really
did.
did.
Like, in the early
Hmm.
2000s, Lego.com was the place to go for online games, honestly.
You
Yeah,
know what?
some of the best.
Valve does great stuff with Portal, like
Junkbot.
puzzle. I'm gonna go. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go Junkbot. I'm gonna go Junkbot as my last one.
Another classic.
Junkbot
Love
is my
Junkbot.
boy.
But I did love the Alpha Team games too. Those are a favorite of mine.
Oh,
You know
yes.
what? Junkbot
That
would be
was
great if
fun.
they re-release it for mobile devices now. That'd actually work really well.
That's actually a great
would
idea.
be Awesome.
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
If they ever have him in any set ever, I will.
They should have included him in Jago City or something. I would have really liked.
Oh, that would have been
Whoa.
great.
Cool.
As a
So
trash
having
can,
Junkbot-
just-
Yeah!
trash can. Yeah. It's so
That
tough
would have
for,
been
like,
so
references.
great.
But there we go.
That would have been amazing.
Although, listen, I'm gonna say something controversial. I think Valve's burned up all their goodwill that they used to have. Used to be known as a games company, and now they burned it all up, and they reached the end. So now they actually have to start making.
I
games
think
again.
Orion wrote these questions before the whole Half-Life 3 thing happened the other day.
he did.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this like 2 years ago though. So fair enough. Fair enough.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go with another question. Choose another number.
number 5, number Grace. Let's go.
All right, Simon Cowell versus Gordon Ramsay. Only Simon is cooking and Ramsay is singing. Afterwards, they critique each other. Who wins?
Okay. Here's the deal. I think... Oh, they're critiquing each other, aren't they? I think Simon Cowell can't sing, but Gordon Ramsay can cook.
That's true.
So now,
Well, Simon doesn't have to sing in this competition. He only has to cook.
I'm actually going to let me think real quick. Oh, this
Like,
is
long
really
and hard.
tough.
This is a serious question.
This is a really serious question. I have not heard Gordon Ramsay sing. I actually feel that he might be good at it. Because he has such power in his voice when he screams at
That is
people
true.
for including too much butter
He
or
has
what
authority.
he has authority and
Never
everything.
too much butter.
Can I
But-
do a dramatic representation?
Okay.
It's frozen.
That's exactly it.
Rotten.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let's think.
Simon Cowell cooking, because I think it's better that it's more likely Simon Cowell can cook a decent meal than Gordon Ramsay can sing a decent song.
I think
That
that's
is
fair. Plus,
true.
Simon's going to judge him harsher.
Simon's going to judge him way harsher.
I don't know. Ramsay
Ramsay-
might make him an
Ramsay
idiot
has
sandwich.
like that.
Ramsay's
just,
mean
made someone an
towards
idiot
people.
sandwich.
Ramsay's mean towards people that act like they know better and they should know better and they don't. If you ever seen on like MasterChef Kids, oh man,
Yeah.
he's
A
he's
little
really
bit. I always thought
like
that
a
was
teddy
just
bear.
a main show. So
on that.
You know, that is true. Simon doesn't appear to have a nice streak.
No.
Ramsay is either the nicest guy in the world or the meanest.
in America he's edited to be meaner. In England and other places he's actually not.
I mean, like,
edited
I've
to be
seen
that
Gordon Ramsay,
vicious.
and he seems like if people want help and accept help, he will give it to them. If they don't, then he will lash out and say, "You need my
Right.
help. Let me give it to you. Stop fighting me."
Simon Cowell doesn't care.
Simon
Simon
Cowell
Cowell
just
make
doesn't
kids
care.
cry.
I don't
On
like
American
Simon
Idol.
Cowell anyway.
They'll go
No,
American
you
Got
don't like
Talent.
Simon Cowell.
Why?
Okay,
Oh,
so the
he's
other day,
vicious. I love him.
Orion linked this half-hour video of Simon Cowell just being rude to people, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll watch a couple minutes of it. That'll be entertaining. I watched the whole thing.
Well, like, I don't like
I
negative
Gordon
things,
is the
okay?
best.
All right.
He's not. Look, he's honest. Let's face it. He just says what we're all
I
thinking.
mean, yeah, but it's like you could be a little nicer about what you say.
No, Simon
Well,
Cowell
the
is
thing
my
is,
spirit
everyone
animal.
else is good cop.
All right,
He's the bad cop.
but
Everyone
we
else
gotta
is
keep this
good
moving.
cop.
So let's do
All right,
one more
think
question,
Simon
Kahi, before we.
wins.
Sorry.
Okay, well, you gotta look out for number one, so I'm gonna go number one.
All right.
Did we actually answer the last question? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Simon won.
Okay, just checking.
All right. What would you do if you woke up one morning and you found out you'd turned into Gollum?
From Lord of the Rings, that Gollum?
Yep.
Okay, just to clarify, as opposed to the other
Yeah,
Gollum.
actually, the question does clarify, but for some reason I didn't say that.
Oh, okay, no, awesome. I would... Man, I would be like... Well, the first thing I do is get better clothes. Because Gollum, he wears a kind of a skimpy little, underoo. And I would not feel comfortable. I mean, already I have like this scrawniest, but I'm more scrawny than I already am in real life, and slightly more uglier. So like I would have to I'd probably try makeup or plastic surgery. That's where I'd go.
We want the tuxedo.
No. But I wonder if this question Orion didn't specify is if you look exactly like Gollum or if it's like a version of you in the Gollum
Yeah.
form.
Well, I mean, okay, is Gollum Asian or am I like legit Gollum? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. That makes a difference there.
That does make a difference.
I mean,
Because okay,
Andy
listen,
Serkis-
if I'm Asian, Gollum does look like a lot of old Asian men.
He-
To be fair, I'm saying it. You guys can say it too. He kind of does. As someone who's been around old Asian men for a good amount of time, because my grandpa and stuff. Yeah, Gollum kind of. He has like the wispy white hair and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
All right, there we go.
All right. Let's get into the game now so we have enough time to fully do that. So, Malurs, would you like to explain what we're playing today?
I wouldn't, but I have to. So,
Let's
yes, we are
just do
doing
more of
the
the
various
questions.
variants game. Basically, I
Best game.
tell you all about a specific character in the minifigure world, and you have to tell me how many times they have remade this character with either different printing, different redesigns or whatnot.
To
And
be specific, it only counts if it has either a new molded piece on it or a new print.
Okay.
Okay.
all right, so I have
Oh,
that.
before we begin, let's talk about the scoreboard. So, the scores for this year so far are LQ at 13 points, Leo at 10 points, Glenda at 12 points, Maluris at 8 points, Mace at 8.5 points, Ford at 10.5 points, and all guests at 2 points. So, John, you're going to have to represent the guests here.
Okay. Let's go.
Alright,
All right.
take it away, Maluris. Hey.
I heard something. Was that like?
No, it was nothing.
Okay,
No, it was
you're just coughing. I got
yeah,
it.
there's just something in my throat.
Okay.
Take it away.
At least I'm getting better at not making it ear bleed. Okay. So, I decided with the UCS Millennium Falcon coming out, I would grace us all with some Star Wars minifigures.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard.
I
I
was
feel
hoping
like
to go
I'm gonna get a
superheroes.
lot of points this
We've
one.
done every other time we played this game. We've done superheroes actually.
Oh no.
I would have killed at that. I know so much about superheroes. Go on.
So, I looked over some of the minifigures within the UCS Millennium Falcon, and I decided I'd start with them, and I'd start with Princess Leia. How many Princess
different
Leias
Leias?
have they made?
Oh,
Wow,
dear.
this might be the hardest version of this game.
I'm gonna knock out the ones I do know. There's the old Princess Leia, right? Then there's an old Slave Leia. There's a new Slave Leia. There's a new the new Leia, old Leia from Force Awakens, and there's the new one in this Falcon.
New old Leia,
New old Leia.
There's
There's
the UCS, the
the UCS,
Millennium
right?
Falcon
The original
Falcon.
Death Star. The original Death Star had a Leia. Actually, we might have two. No, just one.
there's
Wait.
2011 Millennium Falcon Leia.
I'm gonna go with 9.
Nine.
Then
I'm gonna go
there's, wait.
I'm gonna go
we
13.
counted both the Death Star.
Wait, isn't there a ceremonial Leia?
Yes, there
Oh, man.
is.
I think you're right.
There's
Isn't-
also the
was there a Cloud
new Death
City
Star
as
Leia
well?
in addition to the old
Yes,
one.
there is a Cloud City, I believe. At least I believe
Cloud
it was a
City
yellow
Leia,
skinned
yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a.
and then
But that
we
might be the
got,
same print as the OG
Old Hoth
Leia.
Leia.
Was there
Hoth
a
Leia.
poly bag
versions, I
Leia?
believe.
I don't think Leia's had a poly bag before.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, I didn't think she had, but I just wanted to check.
I'm gonna lock in 13. That's where I'm gonna.
All right, 13.
hang
my
on.
sake.
I know there was one more.
I could tell you.
I'm
I
gonna
could.
go.
Count the. Wait.
Ford's not thinking
Oh,
out
and then there's
loud.
another Hoth Leia.
No, we need thinking out loud. Otherwise, the audience will have
13.
nothing
Yeah,
to do
I'm
but
gonna
yell
go
at
with
us
13.
because someone
I'm gonna
knows
stick
this
with,
already.
I'm gonna stick with John and say 13.
Cool.
All right.
Um,
I'm gonna go 14 just because I'm pretty sure I've forgotten about one.
Good call.
Glenda, Mace.
I'm gonna go with 12.
I said 9.
okay.
Okay.
So is that everyone's answers?
Yep,
I have
that's
everyone's
That
answers.
is everybody.
Fine.
Yes.
You're all wrong.
It's 17,
What is
isn't it?
It's 18. We have the first Princess Leia, who is yellow skinned. You have the redesign of that, who has a different the flesh.
Oh my
skin
goodness,
tone.
there were 3 Slave Leias!
You had the classic redesign with the new hair mold, and then another redesign with front printing and face redesign. You had the ceremonial. You had the
Yeah, I was right about that.
yellow Hoth Leia, and then the Hoth Leia in flesh skin tone. You got Hoth in like the newer Hoth base, a redesign with new hair mold. You got the Bespin Leia, you got Bausch Leia, you have yellow skin Leia, you have flesh skin Slave Leia, and you got the redesign of the Slave Leia. You got Endor. You got Endor redesign
Endor!
with a cape. You got the Ewok Village Leia. You have General Leia,
She got her own mini.
and yeah, I think now
Do you say old Princess Leia?
What?
There
General
were a
Leia,
lot of
yeah.
old Princess Leias.
No, old is in like the old Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, that's General.
General
Oh, yes,
Leia.
yes, General.
Oh, General. I thought you meant General as in like a general version of her.
Forgot all
Generic
about the
Leia.
Endor variants.
Yeah,
I
I,
did
forgot
too.
about the
Me
Endor
too, me
variants
too.
too.
Oh, actually, it's 17.
Wow, that's a lot.
Sorry. But
The
no
one
one
that came
guessed
in
17.
the shuttle.
So
Yeah, we missed out
good,
on like
too.
Y'all.
5.
still.
Well, I guess no one guessed 17 anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so
Alright.
I had 9. I
up
was
for an
close.
easier one. I do get a point for tricking you all, I guess. Yeah.
Suppose.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Now we have the lovable furry Chewbacca. How many Chewbaccas are there?
Oh,
I know a
man.
trick. I have an ace up my sleeve for this one, but I'm not going to tell anyone what it is.
Why not?
So now
I need
you're
the
gonna
point.
guess last, so that no one else can rip off of you, right?
Oh, there's a new one. There's a Kashyyyk one. There is the like for episode 3. There is the original Chewbacca, and then the issue is honestly, this is the like because Chewbacca essentially looks the same in almost every movie. I can't like with Leia. I'm like, what outfit should she wear, right?
Right.
Which different versions does she wear? With Chewie, it's just down to like how many molds they make for this guy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
down to like how the minifigures evolved
Yeah.
over time,
It's
basically.
Right,
pretty much
right.
stayed the same from its debut back when Lego
The
Star
mold
Wars
has, but the printing's
started,
changed
the
a
printing's
lot.
changed a
and
little bit.
like the mold changed in 2014. They used the same style of molding and I think the same printing as well. Did they do?
What I really hated with Chewie is when they started adding the lighter fur printing because it's really not that much prominent
Now,
in the movies.
hang on.
but
When
for
was
some
that?
reason
Was
they make
that
it prominent in the
2014?
minifigure.
Then they started adding the fur.
It sounds about right, but I couldn't tell you for certain.
Okay then. And then when did they add the nose printing later? Because I thought he always had a black nose.
Ever since he had black eyes, he had a
As far
black
as
nose.
I can remember, he's always had a black nose.
No, even before he
black nose
had the
for-
printed on eyes, he had a nose.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't have had any printing back then because they didn't print any of those molds.
Well,
Well, I
they
remember that there
Yeah.
was
You're wrong,
a minifigure
because
where
they
he
printed
had a black
on the
nose and no eye
bandolier.
printing.
They always printed the
Oh.
bandolier.
They did? I thought there was one version where it was just brown.
Pretty sure they always printed it.
Well, there
Because
was
you know,
a-
there's like the old Ewoks where like the Ewok heads, even
Well,
though
like-
their clothes
Right, they don't
are
have
the same
the-
color. as
Only
their face.
until recently did people start caring about how the Ewoks looked.
Look at Watto and the owl dog.
I'm just gonna say
I'm not
2.
sure if I want to take you for your word.
I'm just gonna say
My
2.
gut,
wha-
my gut says 5, so I'm gonna go 7 because why not?
I still have the ace up my sleeve. I haven't mentioned to any of you, by the way.
I know. I know. You're just rubbing it in.
It's something we've forgotten about, isn't it? There's something.
yes.
Well, that's why I'm going 2 above what my gut says because there's probably like my gut probably remembers everything, but there's also the ones I don't remember.
I'm gonna go with 5.
5.
I was gonna go with 5, but now I can't rip off of you. So
Nope. No, I mean that's not an official rule, but I won't allow it.
By law of LQ.
I'm gonna go with 9. No, actually, I'm gonna go with 6.
Is that everyone?
Except for me.
Mace.
All right, Mace, lock it in.
Miss.
I'm
Miss.
going to, let me see. 6.
All right. What do we have, Malaris?
Okay. So, hold on, I'm checking one more source because I'm starting to doubt, like, did I get them all? Did I get them all? But,
So
okay, yeah, I don't, yeah, okay, so there are 4, I believe? Okay,
4?
yeah.
4.
So, there was
No!
original brown, really dark brown, and then the regular one became a really lighter tone, and that was the same one they used throughout until the redesign of Chewbacca with the light fur stuff.
Striping?
And then there was Snow Chewbacca.
I forgot about the snow
Yes, that
Chewbacca,
was
and I
what
had
I
that
remembered.
one.
Chewbacca?
But you all remembered way more than there were, so...
Okay, here's why I was gonna say 5, but you know, I was thinking, is Ford right about the nose? He's probably right about the nose, but he was wrong.
No, the
was.
nose was on the original and the
I was
classic.
wrong.
So that
Yes, because they're the light
so there's
skin
never a
and
version
a-
without
a
the nose
light-
printed.
No.
Yeah, they're the light fur and a dark fur one.
What's worse is
Yeah.
that I just recently got the Snow Chewbacca, and I forgot it existed for this.
I remember it existed. That's well, it didn't really help me, but I remembered it existed.
I just thought that
I
it
only
was a
remember
white
3,
Wookiee.
so I was going to guess 4,
no,
but I
it's
listened
Chewbacca,
to you
'cause they always
guys.
have like a special variant in one of the advent calendars.
Except for the most
really
recent
high.
one,
listened
which
to you guys
stinks.
for too long.
I forgot about Snow Chewbacca completely. 100% slipped my mind.
It's a great minifigure, by the way.
I should have
Awesome.
just answered when I had my real answer instead of listening to you all.
Yeah.
4 was my original answer.
You people.
You
But
should have
y'all
answered when
convinced
you
me
had
there
the
was
chance.
a lot more.
Alright.
You all convinced me there was a lot more than 4.
All right, we have time for one more.
Gotcha.
Oh boy, here it comes. The pilot
no.
himself, Han Solo.
So,
Okay, I give
Yeah.
This is getting
Now
ridiculous.
here's what's throwing me off.
I got
I-
two.
Best been
Okay, I might have to I might have to refrain from doing this one, just because I didn't know we're gonna be playing this game later. But earlier today we were talking about the Han Solo and like if the old Han Solo was different. I went up and looked up the different Han Solos, so I did see the number. So I'm gonna refrain from doing this one because
You can go. No, you can join in. That counts because you know. We just say your answer last. And someone else can still get a point as well.
okay.
It's not restricted to one person
alright,
winning.
now I'm like, man, did I read that wrong there? Did I skim over it wrong? So let's go.
So here's the question that's on my mind: was there an exclusive Best Bin version of Han Solo?
Yes,
my
technically.
question
This is
is,
going to be
does the-
hard.
does the version where he's frozen count?
No,
That
the
is-
carbonite molds
Carbonite does
do
not
not count. That includes the original
Okay,
brick
good.
piece and the
Okay,
new
thank
one where he fits inside. I
I love that piece.
Okay, so we got OG with yellow, brown legs, and then
We have the
blue legs,
carbonite frozen
and
version.
the carbonite frozen version without a shirt.
Do we count?
Or-
Do we count carbonite frozen?
Well,
just
not
asked that.
not the brick.
Just the
She just
minifig.
asked that. But
Okay.
there was a minifig inside the newer one too.
Yeah.
And then
Three.
It's gonna be
Hoth
hard.
The new
Han.
Death Star version, the old
Fleshy.
Death Star version.
There was the one where he was in
There were
the
two of
suit.
them.
The winter one.
Mm-hmm.
And then
8.
The one where he had brown pants and the one where he had blue pants. And there was one where he had a vest, I think.
you know what?
I think I've got my answer.
You know what? 20.
I've also got my answer.
20. I say 14.
okay. Anyone else?
Ooh.
Your stunned silence is very reassuring.
I just look over this anarchy I've created and I laugh, knowing I get like 3 points today from what I've done.
You sound like me
This
when I
is
was
the
back when I was
hardest
doing
round. Okay.
Art File with those CCBS torsos.
You know
So
what?
who isn't locked in an answer?
Me.
You
then
know
John
what?
can
I'm
go last.
just gonna take a shot in the dark. 22.
No way, it's 22. But you already locked in your answer. Mace.
I'm just going to go with what I have. 13.
13.
Alright.
If I counted correctly.
And John?
13.
If I remember correctly, I believe it was 29.
Oh boy,
Whoa.
if that's true, I'm way off. And you're probably in the ballpark at least. I was thinking you had less variance than Leia.
Okay.
Well, I think
Because
you say that
Leia...
it's 22 or 24, I think.
I totally forgot all the indoor versions, just like with Leia. But Leia has way more outfits in all the series than Han does.
Alright. Everyone's locked in?
I guess so.
Yep.
John was closest. It's 28.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay. So we have
Let me recount.
the original with yellow skin and really light blue pants. We have the original skiff with yellow skin. We have the yellow skin brown pants. We have the yellow skin dark blue pants. We have the original Hoth jacket with flesh, and then there's a
Yeah.
reddish brown variant of that as well. There's a
Wasn't
skiff
there the-
flesh. There's the classic flesh with reddish brown pants. There's Stormtrooper Han. There's
I
Hoth
totally
Jacket
forgot
with
Stormtrooper Han.
hood.
I already told you about Stormtrooper Han. You just weren't paying attention.
No, I wasn't. Thank you very much.
There's another Hoth one where he doesn't have a hood and has a jacket and some brown pants. There's a skiff
There's the one with the
redesign.
medal.
There's a classic flesh where he has a lighter blue than some of them. And Hoth Jacket, again, only it's like completely redesigned from the last Han with facial printing. There's a Ceremony Han, and there is Young Han. There is
I totally forgot about Young Han.
Oh man,
Skiff,
that one.
Forgot
another
about
Skiff
that.
redesign with a new face. There's 2013 redesign with the jacket printing. And then there's a 2014 redesign with facial printing. Hoth, there's one where he has his facial thing and goggles on in the printing. There's Endor Han. There's Episode 7 Old Man Han. There's another Hoth one, this time with
Right.
like without the facial stuff. 2 years after the last one. Another Han without the hood. And
When are we gonna reach the end?
we're almost there.
When will you make it
Another
end?
Skiff
When is it
redesign
finished?
with a different facial expression. The new Han redesign with a new facial expression, different hair mold, and they changed up his colors from the white under the vest to a more stained cream or whatever. Stormtrooper with a redesigned face and hair mold, and a Skiff redesign with
Hold up.
face.
Isn't that
hair
29?
mold.
I
What?
went on Brickset to check. I got 31 matches.
They
Here's what I
might
think,
count the
you got-
Carbonite and
They
the
count the
microfigure.
Carbonites. Right.
They do not count the Carbonite. They count the Han Solo without the vest, but not the Carbonite Han Solos.
13, 14,
Either way,
15,
nobody got
16.
31.
I just counted all the ones that you read, and it came out to 29 for me.
Okay.
But I mean, fair enough. Well, I mean, it's probably a lot to count. We'll leave that
I
up
see
in the air.
28. I'm sorry, but I see.
You know what? We'll have someone audit this during editing and paste it in. Mace can count them. He's good at counting things.
It's true, I am.
So we will update that.
I should still get the
When
point
this video comes
regardless.
out.
Guest points don't really
No,
matter.
you don't get the point
No.
if it ends up being right, and the guests get a point. All right. That's gonna have to wrap it up for this supersized podcast. However, I want to thank John from TTV once again for being here. And do you have any last comments, John?
No. Thanks so much for having me on. Really enjoyed it. I always love being on guest podcasts. So whenever you guys want to do this again, let me know. I'll be more than welcome to come on board again. It was really fun.
Sure
Yeah.
thing.
I love the
Great
Great to have you.
games. Games are a really fun thing when doing.
Yeah, that's something we adopted early on in our podcast. I ripped it off another podcast that had nothing to do with Lego, so I thought it was all right for us to do.
It's okay.
I know which one
TTV
you're talking
ripped
about.
off TTV from like a Harry Potter podcast.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the main base for our podcast, the main formula, it's evolved over the years, but the original one is absolutely ripped off a Disney podcast.
Oh.
Shame.
So,
My defense,
just
I
for
had
the
no
audience
idea.
members out there, some think we copied TTV. I had no idea about TTV when we started. I copied it off of WW Today. All right. So thank you once again for watching. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. And if you have any comments about what we talked about today, including, YouTube and copyright strikes, the UCS Millennium Falcon, or how wrong we were about all those various variants,
Yes,
please
how many
Harry
do
Potter
you
little
think that there
things.
were of Han Solo?
Hey, Solo,
well,
you're
we should
saying
have
it
that
like
big-
Lando incorrectly.
I'll bet there's 3 whole Lando.
How many do you think there were of that pirate?
Lando actually would have been an interesting one to do. But anyway,
Another
for
day.
Ford, Klenda, Mace, Maluris, our special guest John from TTV, and myself, LQ. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Have a good one.
Yep, yep.
Farewell.
It was only 28.